What a crazy weekend of high school football we had last week. I am Zach Poff here on MaxPreps.com, and we saw the number one team on our excellent 25 rankings go down as Dallas Skyline pulled the 40-30 upset against Cedar Hill. We also saw Don Bosco Prep lay a beatdown on St. Thomas Aquinas, handling the Florida powerhouse their biggest lopsided defeat in over a decade. But maybe the craziest game this past weekend happened between Bishop Gorman and Corona Centennial, as Gorman was trailing by 14 points with just over 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Now, after Gorman scored a touchdown to cut the lead to 41-40, they decided to go for 2 points, and Tate Martell, the sophomore stud quarterback, finds the UCLA commit Alize Jones wide open in the end zone for the game-winning 2-point conversion. Perfect play call. You see Alize Jones kind of line up to block right here, slips out in the flat. Tate Martell, the sophomore stud, finds him. Game-winning 2-point conversion for Tony Sanchez and the Gales from Bishop Gorman. Now, from one of the craziest games to maybe the craziest finish we might see all year, check out the hook and lateral that Souderton pulls off to knock off Wissahickon 20-14 in the final seconds. As you see Markeem Graham flip it to Jamar White, and he houses it for the 31-yard touchdown with 0 time left on the clock. And just a moment these kids are going to remember for the rest of their lives. They busted out the hook and lateral to win the game with 0 seconds left on the clock. Big time play for Souderton High School. And, of course, we've seen some great games and some great finishes, but let's check in on some of the top performers from last week. And with that, we got to check in on the top-rated running back in the country, Mr. Damian Harris. The number one recruit on 247's composite rankings among running backs, the 5'11", 205-pound Madison Southern running back balled out for 321 yards on only 19 carries, averaging 16.8 yards per carry. The 5-star back had 7 total TDs, 6 rushing, and he housed a 91-yard kickoff return. Through 4 games this season, he's rushed for 958 yards and 14 touchdowns, averaging nearly 20 yards a pop. And he's currently the 10th leading rusher on our Max Prep stat leaderboard. And you know colleges are dying to get their hands on Harris, who is one of the top uncommitted players in the 2015 class. From the top-rated running back to one of the top-rated wide receivers in the country, Lovejoy's 5-star wideout, Preston Williams, had another big-time week in their 27-24 W against Hillgrove. The 6'4", 190-pound stud athlete balled out for 164 yards receiving on 6 grabs and also had 1 TD. The Tennessee commit is rated as the 26th best player on 247's composite rankings and is the 4th rated wide receiver in the country. And this play right here was one of the best plays last week. Almost gets a snap over his head, keeps the play alive. Kid can also play a little bit of punter also. All right, folks, we got to give the defense some love also, too. So we are going to check in on the top recruit in the country, the 6'5", 240-pound QB killer, Josh Sweat. I mean, I would just hate to be a quarterback with number 9 lining up on the other side. And the Oscar Smith defensive end is drawing a lot of comparisons to Jadeveon Clowney for his freakish athletic abilities. And so far this year, he has proven he's arguably the most gifted athlete in the country. You know, colleges are drooling over Sweat as he still hasn't committed. And whoever lands his 5-star stud is going to get an impact player right away. Well, that is all the time we have this week on this weekend's recap. I'm Zach Poff here on MaxPreps.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure and check out Friday Night Live every Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific Time on Fridays.